So, you may have noticed this thing here. That would be Avengers Infinity War. I went to go and see it today. I actually went at 10:30 this morning. One of the perks of being self-employed. I managed to move a few things around and go and see it. Ah, this film cannot be reviewed in a non-spoiler way. Uh, there's only a few things that can be noted. Mainly, Thanos is a badass. Uh, you need to see the film. It's as simple as that. There's too much of a risk of things being spoiled, so do not watch this review or any reviews just in case, because some people have stayed away from all the trailers. Some people have a rough idea of what's going on. Other people have no idea. Honestly, go and see the film. For me, there was three parts of this film which were both twists and unexpected and just little things like that. One at the beginning, one at the middle, one at the end. Now, the one at the beginning was completely unexpected. When that happened, that set the tone as to what could happen here on in. For those of you who have seen the film, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. And yeah, when that happened, it was a bit like, oh, okay, the stakes are quite high here. Then there was a middle twist, spoiler type thing. When that happened, it was speculated by online theorists and YouTubers and Facebookers and everyone else. But that theory kind of died down a long time ago of this particular person making an appearance. So yeah, that was cool. I'm looking forward to see where that particular thing goes in the future. Then the end bit, which is a huge part to the story, it's a monumental part of the story which I can't speak about, but it's huge. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. It's unexpected. I don't know where they're going to go forward. I've got a rough idea as to what happens in the comics. I'm not a huge comic book reader, but I have seen a lot of online videos and animations and people telling the story. For me, it's one of the best ways of listening to comic books. If they start going down the audiobook route, it's imagine Stephen Fry just reading bloody the Avengers to you, man. It's just brilliant. Why hasn't someone done that? And if it is a thing, why am I not doing it? So yeah, there's a huge thing towards the end where you don't know where this story is going to go. And yeah, as I say, I've got a hint as to what might happen. We'll have to wait and see what happens in the films leading up to part two. But the film was fantastic. As you guys may know or may not know, I'm a huge Iron Man fanboy, especially in the cinematic universe. For me, his tech was amazing. I'd love to see more. I don't think he's actually using vibranium. I think he's using nanotech of a different type. I think it's influenced by Wakanda, but I don't think there is vibranium in it. So I think that is potentially what's going to happen in part two. For me, my favourite character in the film is Thor. Whether that's just because his film is the most recent and the relationship that we have with the character is most fresh, I don't know. But for me, Thor was who I enjoyed seeing on screen the most. Don't get me wrong, he's a good looking lad, but there was just something more about that I want to keep on seeing. And the good lookingness of Thor is referenced throughout. So that was quite funny. But that's due to who the characters were paired with, which was quite, it must have been so hard trying to decide who's going to be where and what happens. But again, that was brilliant. Who else? Who else? I'm trying to think of things that I can talk about that aren't spoilery. There was a few laugh out loud moments. For me, there was one main one which included Drax. That was when they were on the spaceship. He was with two other characters. I won't say who, although it should be fairly obvious. Uh, yeah, fantastic. I was sitting there and I was trying not to laugh, and my shoulders were doing that. And you know, when you try not to laugh, the more you try not to laugh, the more you want to laugh. And I got to the point where I had little teardrops forming around my eyes, and my shoulders were going crazy. And it was just a brilliant film. The CGI was fantastic. Thanos was a bloody believable villain. His motives I understood and I could see it. I felt sympathy for him at times, which I didn't think I was going to, but it was definitely there. The the relationship between Vision and Scarlet Witch was believable, even though obviously he is a complete android. But again, this is potentially leading up to House of M, which again, if we're getting X-Men in this universe, it's just there's just that's the only way I can describe it. That is what is going on in my head right now. There's so many possibilities as to what can happen from here on in. There's ah there's just it's just a ball, and everything has been leading up to this ball, and we're in this ball, and there's like 14,674,000,000 different variations as to how this can go, and we just don't know. And it's fantastic not knowing what is going to happen next. I mean, with Age of Ultron, you knew what was going to happen. You knew Ultron was going to be created. Then we kind of knew Vision was going to happen, and then that would be it. They destroy Ultron. That's it. Everyone lives happily ever after, apart from Quicksilver because he kind of died. Spoiler alert. And yeah, that was it. But with this film, it's open ended. There's no end to it. It's just there. The end credits was quite cool. Really like that. I want to know what's going on there. I just want to know, which is really annoying me because I don't like not knowing things. I like to know what I want to know. That made no sense. I've not had anything to read for a while. But yeah, the film was spot on. As I say, saw it this morning. Due to go and see it on Tuesday or Thursday, no, Tuesday or Wednesday with my fiance. She doesn't know that I've already been and seen it, so I need to act surprised when I should be surprised. But at least I should be prepared for all the questions that she might have. But yeah, the film was spot on. I know there's going to be a director's cut, which I don't think it's got any new scenes. I think the previous scenes are just extended, which I really want to see. If anything, this is the sort of film which you could put the director's cut in the cinema as a separate screening to the actual film, like it's going to be like 3 hours long or whatever. I reckon people will still see it, and I reckon more people might see that rather than the cut version. So I don't think it's going to happen. If there's if this film, when it comes out on the DVD release, does really well on the director's cut side, we may well see the cinematic director's cut, which would be amazing. But we can only hope. Well, I can anyway. But that was just me waffling about Infinity War. I saw it. It's God, about 6 hours ago now. But I needed to talk about it. But no one that I know has seen it, so I just needed to speak. And this is like the 20th take that I've done of this. So I've spoken about this for like an hour, all for you to have 10 minutes worth of a video. But if I could pass two pieces of information on Firstly, it's please don't spoil the film for anyone, and secondly, go and watch the bloody film. It's, if you're not a Marvel fan, it's an action-based, colourful film. I can't think of a better word. Spectacle. It's just brilliant. And if you are a Marvel fan, it's it's full of the characters that we've grown up with for the last 10 years. It's full of the characters that we have grown to know, love, and hate. And yeah, so please let me know what you guys think of the film. Please don't put any spoilers down below. Otherwise, I will go full on Brexit on your backside. But that's it. I just wanted to speak about the film, and it was just easier doing it to a camera rather than just mulling it over in my head. So that is it from me. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Good gaming, happy collecting, and enjoy the film. I'll see you guys on the next one. Adios.